Hello and welcome back to part 2 of this lovely rust bucket project. Last time we did some cleaning, some tidying up, and now it's time to start with the technical stuff. We're going to start with the front suspension because the handling is awful. It handles like a bucket of bolts without the bucket. Let's start. Careful not to scratch the hubcap. Apart from the knocking, also the brake caliper has seized up a little bit, but we'll get to that in a bit. Decent meat here, and the disc is looking kind of okay, something we can definitely work with. Now, the lower ball joint is with a 27mm nut, but there's no way to put in a socket on it, so we're gonna have to use a regular wrench. That wasn't that tight. Okay, that's loose. Now let's loosen up the steering link and we can disassemble it all. Well, that was easy. Now it all needs to come loose, starting with this. Maybe I should have undone the cable for the speedometer first. We can do this now. I'm pretty sure this is not stock. Somebody secured the locking washer. There it goes. There's a tendency for the housing of the cable to get stuck, and there's this rubber here that's supposed to keep it rust free. Usually doesn't. Yep, it's out. Come to think of it, now I can use my other tools. Not big enough, since my fork thingy won't fit around this ball joint because it's too wide. I can smack it straight here since there's no threads or anything, and it's getting replaced anyways. But I think it's a good idea to support the control arm first. Nice. Now the upper ones. Easy. Whew. So-called camber bolts with the eccentric washers. Slight clunk out of this, and this is looking good actually. It has an original VW stamp, but I think I'm gonna, yeah, hear that? The inner one is shot, maybe because the sleeve is shot, who knows. It's getting replaced. Now I'm gonna remove the sway bar so that I have enough room for my spring compressors, and then we can take the lower control arm out. I don't need to take the spring out in order to take the shock absorber, but since I'm gonna be removing the lower control arm to replace these and that bushing over there, I decided to compress the spring and remove it. The top nut of the strut is 17 mil, and you can hold the strut itself with a 7 mil. Or can you? That's not good. I can't hold the stem anymore, and the nut won't turn by hand. I've had it with this. Yes. This actually was not particularly shot, but it is now. What does it say? Original. Nice. Sorry for that kick, dear viewers. The nut fell. No idea where it went. Oh, found it. There it is. And the bolt is almost out. With everything out of the bus, we need to disassemble this bad boy so we can take out the bolt joint and replace it. This is rather crusty. My hopes are not high for this. I think I've undone one or two in my life. Cool. Nope. And that's a double nope. Damn it. I'm gonna give that some time to cool. Back to the matter of the broken bolts for the splash guard. I tried to cut a slit and undo them with the screwdriver. Didn't succeed, so I'm gonna have to drill them out. Alright, with some precision work, the ball joint is out. Now, we need to take this one out. It has a locking ring on the back. There's that. Now we're gonna clean it up here a little bit. I'm also gonna remove the boot on top. Alright, now that the boot is gone and the retainer clip on the back is gone as well, the ball joint needs to come out this direction. And because this lip is very thin and also this is in the way a lot, it's really hard to come up with a tool. But I have developed a special technique, which I'm going to show you right now. And it uses mostly precision and a little bit of force. Now, as far as I know, there's no difference between the left and the right upper control arm, but I try not to swap them whenever I do this. These bushings are usually spot welded, like this one and this one. These are original, so they're not for some reason, but this one desperately needs to be replaced. Let's go. In overview, this is pretty much everything we're replacing, as well as the anti-roll bar bushings. These things all need replacement. You can see all the rust, all the play in the ball joints, all the torn boots, and actually the shock absorbers are still working for the most part, and they are original. I think those are the original shock absorbers. It says made in Germany and there's a VW stamp on them. And here's a second view of the fresh new stuff. The lower ball joints can be a pain to press in. Last year I had a pair that wouldn't go in even with a 20-ton press. We ended up grinding the outer diameter to make them smaller and easier to fit. These ones, however, I was lucky and they fit in pretty easily even with my C-clamp. I did find that one of the control arm rods is rotten, so I am waiting on a replacement. I'm gonna pick that up tomorrow and we can install it then. All the ball joints and the bushings are pressed in. I did some cleaning and painting. The last few bits are drying over there. And when that's done, it's time to start reassembling. After having a big fight with this nut, because I can't get it in enough so I can put a wrench and hold the stem of the shock absorber, I just grinded it down. It's no longer a locking nut. I'm gonna use some thread locker instead on the stem, and that's gonna be what's gonna keep it in place. Because whoever came up with this idea, he can... Alright, with that in place, we need to put in the upper control arm, and then we can pull the spindle, or call it what you will. When putting in the upper control arm, don't forget to put in the camber thingies, these bad boys, and make sure they're facing the same way, like so, not like so, because otherwise you're gonna have big trouble. Okay, was that 19? Yep, 19 and a 14 in this. And of course the final torque on all of the bolts, bushings and whatnot is going to be done with the suspension loaded, because otherwise they're going to wear pretty quickly. I did try installing the radius rod on the car. I failed because I couldn't get the angle quite right, so I figured I'm gonna do it the easy way. When it comes to the bushings, you have the outer washer. You need to put them with the lip facing outwards. You have the sleeve. These are usually rolling away. You're gonna need to make your own probably. I'm gonna leave the dimensions here. You have the inner bushing, which goes like this, then the chassis, The outer bushing, or the front one, which has a metal backing plate, goes like so. The outer washer and the last nut, and you're done. Now when it comes to the torquing sequence, this bushing and the one in the back on the lower control arm need to be torqued with the suspension loaded so that they're in their natural position. The ball joints here, 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 this one can be torqued in any position, as well as the sway bar, and that bushing over there doesn't matter. With everything torqued to spec, I think it's time to put an end to this episode. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, drop a like below, ask me something in the comments, and consider subscribing. Next up, we're going to be doing the front brakes, so stay tuned. See ya!